everyone, I'm Lauren, and today I'm going to be doing the Mid-Year Book Freakout tag. Yeah, that's what it's called. I think a lot of you probably know about this tag, although it's pretty popular. This will be the second time actually I've done this tag. Jeez, I can't believe it's been a year. Just feels like I haven't done as much because I've had to spend quite a bit of time not doing booktube off and on a bit. But that's how it goes. Anyway, I don't remember who originally made this tag, but I'll put it on the screen and put a link in the description if I can figure that out. Hopefully I can. I am not good at remembering to look these kind of things up in advance, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, let's get started with questions. I think there's 12 or 13 or something like that. First question is, what is the best book that you've read so far in 2020? For this question, it technically doesn't say, but I'm just going to limit it to non-sequels because the next question asks about sequels. So the best non-sequel book that I've read in 2020 is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton? I don't know how to pronounce that still. Sorry if there's a shift or anything. And in lighting too, it suddenly got dark and I had an interruption. It was just a really gripping read and just thrilling, I guess. It was definitely a page turner, and honestly there haven't been too many books that I've really loved in 2020 anyway, so there's not really that much competition anyway. Most of the other 5-star reads this year have been either sequels or they've been rereads, so Jurassic Park wins by default anyway, but it was really, really good. Next question is, what's your favorite sequel for the first half of the year? This one was kind of hard to pick for, because like I said, most of my 5-star reads are sequels, so there's a lot to pick from. For my manga, definitely A Bride's Story. I think maybe volume 9 is the best of the 4 volumes I read this year. Just because the character always has trouble looking for love, because she's a little bit, has a gruff exterior a bit, and it tends to put people off, and she's really self-conscious about it, and so she makes some good progress on that, and it's just like, oh yeah, go you, and she's a cool character anyway. For another one, definitely Ascendance of a Bookworm by Miyakazuki. I read 3 volumes so far this year, and they're all really good. Probably my favorite was Part 2, Volume 4, just because it closed off the second arc, and it was just like, so many things happening, and just, so much happened, and it was just sad things, And then the last 2 sequels that I want to mention as being my favorite for 2020 so far, and that is The Death of Dulgath by Michael J. Sullivan, and The Disappearance of Winter's Daughter by, also by Michael J. Sullivan. 3 and 4 in the Reria Chronicles series. They're both quite different in, maybe not in tone, but how Royce and Hadrian kind of go about doing things, the 2 main characters. But they're both really well done. There's a lot of humor in both, but also a lot of drama, I guess. Some gripping moments and things. And they're both very, 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 very good. Well, I like all of the Reria books, but these ones were especially good in my opinion. Next question. What is a new release you haven't read yet, but you're excited for? I always assume this question is for new releases that have come out already, so not upcoming releases. For this one, I have 2 for this one, and that is Network Effect by Martha Wells, the full-length Murderbot novel. I wanted to get to this earlier right when it came out, but but May was awful, so that didn't happen. In June I moved, so yeah. Hopefully I can read this soon though. The other one for this I want to mention is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This was kind of picking up on a whim, and just stuff happened, so ended up not being able to get to this one either. Again, I hope to get to this. I don't know a whole lot about it, other than just it sounded kind of funny, and a lot of people really like Grady Hendrix, so yeah, I hope to get to it soon. Alright, next question. What is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I don't really pay attention too much to new releases, just because there's so much going on and there's so many books, and I usually tend to figure out if I will like something or not based off of people's reviews, and then go like, oh, they liked X, Y, and Z. I like X, Y, and Z too, so I might like this as well. And obviously you can't do that as easily with unreleased books. But there was one that did seem kind of interesting, and that was The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. I don't remember what the synopsis for that was, but it seemed kind of interesting. New fantasy series. I don't know if it's a debut or not for the author, but seemed cool. And of course, I'm definitely excited, really excited for the books that are being released in the series I'm already reading. And like A Bride Story, I think it's volume 11 by Karumori. That's coming out in October? I don't remember. And then also Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 3, volume 1 is coming out in August, I believe. So that's going to be coming out very soon. And I'm excited for that because it's a new arc in the series. Let's see, next question. What is your biggest disappointment so far in the year? Again, I have a few for this one, or I have two for this one. The first one I want to mention is Higurashi Demon Exposing Arc by Ryukishi07. I forgot to write down the artist for that particular volume. It was just like an extra volume, like an extra story in the Higurashi universe. I don't know if it's considered canon or not, but it was just, it wasn't part of the main story, and it was just kind of useless, and did a lot of recap, which was not needed if you've read all of the other book volumes in the series already, and it might be a bit too rushed and not that interesting if you are new to the series anyway, so pointless. Not very interesting. The other one I want to mention is The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. This one wasn't as bad as the Higurashi volume, but I really did enjoy the first volume. What's it called again? The Eye of the World. I did enjoy that a lot more than I did The Great Hunt. And I feel like I'm in the minority for that opinion, so just like, oh, I was expecting it to get better, but it just wasn't better. It was kind of boring for me in a lot of sections and very, very slow. So I'm still hoping that the third book will be better, though. Question, what is the biggest surprise of the year so far? As I mentioned before, a lot of the good reads that I've read this year have been sequels to things that I've already know I like, so if I like them, it's not exactly a surprise. So the only one that I can really count for this is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I mentioned it's just really gripping, and just, I wasn't expecting it to have so much cool science-y stuff that wasn't in the movie, and it was just a romp, and I wouldn't say I was expecting to not like it. I was just not expecting it to love it so much. So, I definitely need to read more Crichton. I don't know. I need to learn how to pronounce that author's name. Next question. What's your favorite new to you author? And yeah, Michael Crichton. Easy. There's, again, read a lot of sequels. Obviously, they're not new to me authors. He's the only new to me author that even comes remotely close to being a new favorite. I mean, I guess he is a new favorite now, I suppose, right now. So I hope I enjoy some of his other works as well. Next question, what is your fave fictional crush for the year? I don't get fictional crushes, so yeah, let's just skip that one. Next one is, what is your favorite new character? This one I actually do have something for, even though I don't always have favorite characters necessarily. Like, they're often fine, but yeah. But I do have, I'm gonna mention, I actually have two from the same book. Shush. whatever. And I'm gonna say Shanala and Yasna from The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. They're a good duo, and I really like both of them. If you want me to pick which one I like more, maybe Yasna, but I love both of them. Shallan draws, so that's bonus points, and she's really sweet, and they're both smarties, and I like smart characters that are assholes. And I mean, Yasna gets a little bit not polite sometimes, but she knows when she stepped out of line, and she is not afraid to apologize for that. I really like that, so they're both good. But I want more of both of them in the sequel. There's not enough of either of them in The Way of Kings. Okay, next question. What is a book that made you cry? Normally, I would say, haha, this book made me cry because it was so boring. But I actually have something that kind of came close to making me cry. I don't cry when I read because, I don't know, But the closest that came to that was A Sentence of a Bookworm Part 2, Volume 4 by Miyakazuki. Just because at the end, the main character has to make some sacrifices that, I mean, you kind of knew was coming up, but just it hit really hard because it came up a lot sooner than everyone was expecting, and I won't spoil it, but it's just like, everyone's crying, and it's sad. The ending. Which makes me more excited to see what the next book will be like. I just want the main character to be happy. I don't like sad things for the main character. Next question is, what is your favorite book to movie or TV show adaptation that you've seen so far? So I don't watch a lot of movies in general, and I especially don't watch many TV shows. I do watch anime though, from time to time. Even then I don't watch that much new anime. But lately I've been watching Fruits Basket, the new anime for Fruits Basket. The manga series is by Natsuki Takuya, and I haven't read the manga recently, but I have finished it like a while ago, and it's a really good adaptation. But my favorite anime so far that is an adaptation or whatever is A Sentence of a Bookworm. Yeah, because I love A Sentence of a Bookworm, but now there's no more episodes, and I have no idea when the third season is being announced, if there is going to be a third season. So, I want more. Give me more. Next question is, what is the most beautiful book that you've purchased or received this year? I don't really have too many that I find beautiful that I've purchased this year, but I have two that are, probably will work. This first one, I don't know if I'd call it beautiful, but I think it's well designed at the very least, and that is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. It's just, I really like the nice contrast of the white and grayscale and bright orange in the middle like that. I think it works very well. I wouldn't say it's beautiful just because I don't know, and it's not quite my taste for beautiful, but I do think it is an effective design and it works really well. One that I definitely would say is beautiful, though, is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame in this illustrated edition. And it just, kind of gives you a look at what nice illustrations it has inside. I haven't read this quite yet, though, but cover is really nice. Last question. What are 6 books that you need to read by the end of the year? I need to read so many books. All the books. It's hard to pick 6. So I still haven't read most of the books that I put on my TBR for May. And so I do want to finish those. Just for those who don't know what ones. Those are Sorcery by Terry Pratchett, The Dragon Reborn by Robert Jordan, Castle in the Air by Diana Wayne Jones, The Crow by Alison Croghan, Network Effect by Martha Wells, and The Lost World by Michael Crichton. I can't do names. But there's still other books that I want to read, so I just want to mention something. 6 different books that I want to read by the end of the year. Most of these books are books that I want to read for my r/fantasy bingo board. I have a video talking about what books that I wanted to read for that. And I do need to make more progress on that since I'm slightly behind if I want to finish it by April of next year. So these are 6 books. Most of them are for that. And they are Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan. Technically not for my bingo board, but I do want to put the 4th one on my bingo board. So gotta start the series first, obviously. The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Cole. Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Words of Radiance, also by Brandon Sanderson. And then I also would like to read a not fantasy or sci-fi, and that is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. So yeah, there's definitely way more than 6, but I definitely read way more than 6 books in half a year anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Those are all the questions. Let me know in the comments below what books that you really want to read by the end of the year. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. Bye!